Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has been in power now for 8 years, which means he has had 8 long years to prove to Canadians that everything he touches turns to. If you don't believe me, here are 20 people and things that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has ruined during his time in power. Number 20, the Canadian housing sector. The prices for houses in Canada have gone through the roof, and the rental market shows no sign of slowing down either. It seems impossible to buy a home at a reasonable price, and the idea of buying a starter home, that's fiction. That is something of the past. All this, by the way, while we live on the second largest country on earth. Number 19, Jerry Butts. Jerry Butts was Justin Trudeau's longtime friend and his former principal secretary. Butts would end up having to step down during the SNC-Lavalin corruption scandal and would end up tainting his political career for the rest of his life. Number 18, Jody Wilson-Raybould. Jody Wilson-Raybould was the former Attorney General of Canada and the former Minister of Justice. She would end up being pushed and kicked out of the Liberal Party during the SNC-Lavalin corruption scandal after the Prime Minister twisted her arm to do her bidding. Luckily for us Canadians, she did not listen to him. Number 17, Jane Philpott. Jane Philpott was a once very respected Liberal MP and was a very respected doctor. She would have done a great job as a health minister, say, during an upcoming health crisis, but instead she fell victim to the SNC-Lavalin corruption scandal and was pushed and kicked out of the Liberal Party. Number 16, Bill Morneau. Bill Morneau was the finance minister for Justin Trudeau and would end up being the scapegoat during the We Charity scandal of 2020. Although many in Justin Trudeau's family got plenty of dollars from the We Charity, Bill Morneau tried to get away with the same and ended up not being able to do so. He ended up being kicked out of the party, used as Justin Trudeau's scapegoat during the whole affair. Ever since then, he's been critical of Justin Trudeau and all of their economic measures, then been blacklisted from the Liberal Party. Speaking of which, at number 15 is the We Charity. The We Charity has been sketchy for a long time, always been this weird brother-run charity, but has now gone under ever since they tried to make a weird partnership with the Trudeau government where the government was going to pay them to have people volunteer for them? It made no sense, and ever since then, you've heard nothing from the We Charity. Number 14, the Canadian oil sector. Hey, did you know that Canada is sitting on some of the largest oil reserves in the world? You wouldn't know it. Every time you go to the pump, it feels like getting your teeth pulled. Meanwhile, this Liberal government is adamant on importing oil instead of using our clean Canadian oil. We insist on importing oil from tyrants across the ocean. Number 13, transportation. Canada is the second largest country in the world, meaning that you might need a plane to get across to see family somewhere. Unfortunately for you, it has never been more expensive and more difficult and tedious to get across to see your family members, as transit has been more dysfunctional now than it has ever been in the past. Number 12, our rights and freedoms. Under Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Canadians have been censored, our elections have been undermined by Beijing, and protesters have been crushed by emergency powers and had their bank accounts frozen and their assets seized. Free speech and free elections are cornerstones of Canadian democracy, but Trudeau seems to have no problem eroding those. And number 11, West Point Grey Academy. West Point Grey Academy was where Justin Trudeau used to teach. It was one of the many places where he did racist blackface. Hey, does anyone remember why he had to leave West Point Grey Academy?